Yo, yo, yo. What's good, everybody? How's it going, guys? I'm going to play a couple quick intro songs here. Let the homies get on the stream with us. Let me, we got EAC coming on. Let me go over here. I'm just going to throw it on Pandora. I don't got anything planned. I'm just throwing on this Nipsey Hussle radio here.
Myself, county jail fade, you can pull my file yourself. Spy raid, swallow rocks, I'm getting high myself. Nah, damn right, I like the life I built. I'm from West Side 60, shit, I might got killed. Standing so tall, they think I might got stills. Legendary baller like Mike, like Wilt. 96 Impala, thug life on wheels. Up against the wall, squabble at Fox Hills. Like a motherfucking boss, ask me how I feel. Successful street nigga touching them first meals. All my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle paid the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice, that's why. All my life, I've been grinding all my life. All my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle paid the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice, that's why. All my life, I've been grinding all my life. I got everything I said I was gonna get on my kid. In addition to that fact, I went legit. I'm the shit now, according to the way that I'm positioned. In this biz, it look like I'm just gonna keep on getting rich. Know them West Side RSCs is us. LAPD on my dick, I'ma squeeze and bust. If a rap nigga diss, switch cheese and bust. All this rap money, nigga, look, I need too much. Money, loyalty, and love, in the dream we trust. You'll be switching up the players on your team too much. Tiny Copy, that's my low, Young Supreme, what's up? And we travel around the world getting cream or what? Ain't you get off on whoever hustle seem to brush? Las Vegas strip pop, yeah, you creamed them punks. After all that looking tough, all he seen was stunts. 50 Cent and Mayweather flee the scene with us. True story. All my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle paid the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice, that's why. All my life, I've been grinding all my life. All my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle paid the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice, that's why. All my life, I've been grinding all my life.
Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? We're gonna get one more intro song here so we can let a few of the homies make their way on here. If you're just now joining us,
long-winded,
I'll
running through this life like it
Nipsey
was mine.
Hussle. He's joining the stream
Never
today,
settling,
baby.
but
I'll be
setting
right
every
back. I'm
goal
taking
high.
my little show, start this
1,000
show
burpees on
blunt.
the
Do us
path
a
to my
favor
own
though.
destruction or
Repost
success.
this stream,
But
tag
what
a
is a
friend, and
mistake without the lesson?
get in some charts.
See,
Look
the
at
best teacher in life is your own
charts
experience.
too along the way. Get
None
into
of
the
us know who
CLBC
we
stuff.
are until
We'll
we
be right
fail.
back, guys.
They say every man is defined by his reaction to any given situation. Well, who would you want to define you? Someone else or yourself? Whatever you do, homie, give your heart to it and stay strong. Stay strong.
With me and you know it. Yeah. Look, a lot of niggas fail, but I won't. A lot of niggas fold, but I cope. A lot of niggas gone, but I'm home. A lot of niggas off, but I'm on. A lot of niggas lost on this road. Couple niggas gave up they goal. Gang of niggas traded they soul. With me, I'm standing on 10 toes. Looking out my bed's window. Wonder where my friends all go. Scared to give my heart to this girl, paranoid she gon' leave if my hands get low. Knowing that this game to be played, but I'm knowing that this game to be changed. I should be afraid of afraid. I'm just trying to live up to the meaning of my name. I'm just trying to live up to the niggas in my gang. I'm just trying to live up to my moment on the stage. I'm just trying to live up to the truth of my pain and the power that it gave me on the youth for today. I put a coupe in the safe, and I shoot from the waist. My time is money, and I ain't got a second for you flukes in your face.
I do this shit for my walls. I do this shit for my niggas. I do this shit for my brother. I do this shit for my niggas, yeah. I do this shit for my walls. I do this shit for my niggas. I do this shit for my brother. I do this shit for my niggas, yeah.
We be taking trips more than often this month. When I call, they pulling up 2, 3 stream up. You ain't doing enough for the clan. How I feel if I gotta sit it down. How the film gon' feel 120 in a euro, one hand on the wheel. I was just programmed to $250,000. They leave him still here. Shed tears for the dead. Cubes in my daughter chain, she don't even wear. Pop my little brother up, you know we took it there. Real nigga telling on me, only thing that I fear. Yeah, only thing that I fear. Real nigga telling on me, only thing that I fear. A lot of niggas queers, a lot of dope in the air. A lot of niggas queers, a lot of dope in the air. Styrofoam contaminated, got a nigga meditating. Yeah, I said it got a nigga meditating. I can't even eat, listen medicated. I can't even sleep, listen medicated. I've been on my feet, chasing check at the check, nigga, week at the week, cause I'm dedicated. I can't even eat, listen medicated. I can't even sleep, listen medicated. I've been on my feet, chasing check at the check, nigga, week at the week, cause I'm dedicated.
I do this shit for my walls. I do this shit for my niggas. I do this shit for my brother. I do this shit for my niggas, yeah. I do this shit for my motherfucking niggas. I get it in money, yeah. I do this shit for them bitches that you whip it up with no time again. I do this shit for my nigga, pull up with Barilla nigga, just no. I do this shit for them bad bitches wearing red bottoms and Jimmy Choo. I do this shit for my dog, no. I do this shit for my mama. I do this shit for my son. I do this shit for my brother. I do this shit for the world. I do this shit for the globe. I do this shit right here, nigga, and I do that shit way over on the board. I'm wet like a boat. When I'm in my ticket, I talk in the truck. I do it for my brother. I do it for my foe. Got fathers on me, yeah. Niggas shoot from the toes. All the way up from the toes.
What's up, guys? We are back. Hope everybody's doing good. I got all the homies making it up in here. We're just getting started. I decided to check out the blurred background today. I moved in front of the window, got another spot in the room. I was like, let me start playing with these backgrounds. We'll see how these look. I saw these guys in here using their green screens, and it made me want to use something too and play around with a little bit. But everybody, thank you for joining this episode. This is Trade Talk, the extension, man. I figured, we run a trade talk every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on X. So I figured, hey, let's keep it rolling. I'm gonna mute you here, Brad. Let's keep it rolling. Let's look at some charts. Let's be able to talk about it in real time. I want to get on here with some of my homies. A lot of these people we're hanging out with on here, they got projects, right? And these projects got charts. So I figured this is a chance for them to have me look at their charts. I can look at it from an investor perspective and be like, yeah, I like this. I don't like this. This is bullish. This could get better. And you guys listening along, you can throw in coins in the comments or stocks, right? Maybe we'll look at some stocks along the day too. Who knows? And we'll check those out, man. But what I want to do is just I want to check in with all the homies, get it rolling. See how everybody's doing. And then we'll get to some charts and maybe do a little live trading here if we can find anything worthwhile. But let me throw it on homie Clutch. Clutch, man, you around, bro? Or you just here hanging for right now? Oh, no Clutch. Just what's good, homie?
He's eating a churro.
He's eating a churro. It's okay. Clutch be stuffing that face with churros when he
empanada.
Actually, for real though, Clutch put me on game with the fire Mexican that I didn't even know. But there's this spot in Vegas that I guess got the best tacos probably in the world. But I went there and he's like, you got to order the sopa, and it's like a quesadilla but it's just, I don't know, it's just better. Yeah, I don't know how to explain it. It's a quesadilla, but better. But I don't know if you guys ever had a sopa before, but it's fire. But let's we had Timbo check in, right? Man, Timbo, what's good, bro? How you doing, Timbo? And how are you feeling about the market as a whole right now, bro?
Bro, honestly, I'm just looking forward to the next coming weeks and seeing I heard whispers of like Trump passing into law. I don't know how true this is. I'm just going off what I heard about. Um if it's an American based crypto, it's tax free, bro. Like that right there, I can't I'm like waiting for that because I honestly feel like that will bring so much retail in because as a small business owner or somebody that knows small businesses, if you told me that, if you take Solana, all your Solana payments would be completely tax free, bro, I would really try to channel nothing but Solana because I don't I don't want the government having anything to do with my money. So I'm looking forward to like digging more on that, seeing what that could do to the market. But overall, man, I'm just like kind of, not, I feel like not everybody, but I just react, man. Ghost taught me that a long time ago with a lot of, you don't never you kind of have a plan, or you always have a plan, but you just react to the market and what it's doing, the news that's going on. And it hasn't failed me yet, bro.
No, that's a fair point, man. It's like Mike Tyson said, for real, everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face. And you can have all the plans in the world. You can draw all the lines on
What happened? I don't understand.
You can draw all the lines in the chart you want.
Why is it
And,
taking so long with this?
Yeah, I'm gonna meet you for a second here, Alpha. But you can draw all the lines in the chart that you want, and it might not work how you want, but you gotta react, right? And that's kind of why I think it's important to do these type of things and get a plan to where if this happens, then I want to do this, and if this happens, I want to do that. So no, good stuff there, homie. I think that's a great way to go about it.
Yeah, when it comes to when it comes to memes and stuff, like I have my own strategy, have a plan for sure. But when it comes to like these bigger markets and when we're talking about, the TAs or, the Sol chart or Bitcoin or Ethereum, any of these other bigger coins, like I really fall to y'all's knowledge. And so far, that's what I've ascertained, bro, is it's more a reaction. You kind of know what you're looking for. Of course, we're long-term or short-term bears, what have you on certain blockchains. But I think everybody's like, long-term longing everything, but during the day, bro, you can make so much money on 15-minute candles just scalping and stuff. So I'm leaning on y'all's knowledge when it comes to that market, bro.
Yeah, man, you nailed it, right? There's a million ways to make money in this space, and like there's no right or wrong way. Like, dude, you can scalp the 15-minute candles if you want to. You can enter swing trades that you hold for days. Clutch was on here the other day talking about I don't even know who it is, but there's one of our homies that they're not even closing the trade out. They're entering when it hits the top of the range, or they're shorting the top of the range, and then when it gets to the bottom, they're just clicking the reverse button. And we'll get in that too as we get into the show and look at a few more charts. But if you've ever done any margin trading or futures trading, we mostly trade futures perpetuals. But if you ever done that, a lot of these exchanges, they'll have it to where you can kind of close the position. They want degenerates. You can just click reverse and they'll turn your long into a short, or your short into a long, whichever one you're in. So this dude's been bouncing back and forth. And last time I checked, he was like 18 trades in, just going back and forth. Probably low leverage too, right? Like that's one thing I teach people, and we'll get into a little more of these dynamics. But you're spitting some real game here, Timbo. I want to iterate a little further. Sometimes just the low leverage is the way. You see everybody on the timeline sharing their 100x wins. Well, man, the guy that's trading 3 to 5x leverage and winning every time and never going broke is doing better than the guys trading 100x that go broke eventually. But good stuff there, Timbo, man. Maybe when we get looking at some charts, we'll get on some meme charts, and maybe we can look at some low caps here together and find a play on the episode.
Yeah, bro. Hey, and when you start digesting charts, please share your screen, because I definitely want to pick your brain and see what you're talking about when you're talking about it, bro, for sure.
Yeah, I'll for sure, when I got my trading view up now, I'll share the trading view screen in a few after we check in with everybody, and we'll look at Sol, Bitcoin. I'll kind of point out stuff on the show and like kind of where I'd be looking to enter a trade. I might enter some trades on stream. I got to go fire up my trading account actually, but I'll still point out stuff on stream, and if anybody wants to take the trades, they'll be there, right? But yeah, we'll get to that in a few. Want to say what's up to the homie Lynch. Thank you for reposting it. What's up to the homie David Gonzalez? This dude's always out there grinding. What up to the homie Tolly? Tolly's out there doing the thing. And thank you to SW3pass.soul for reposting the stream. Truly appreciate it. We love the support, man. A lot of these guys up here have projects, and they come out here for exposures to grow their projects, grow their communities, and all we ask is you help them get a little more exposure, and we'll keep bringing the value. Sorry, I had to reach across the room to grab this blunt roach. But anyways, guys, we let's throw it over to the homie Brett. Brett, how you doing today? And what are your thoughts about the market?
My wife's calling me. Okay, I'm sorry. She just starts to do it as soon as somebody calls on me, brother.
You're good. You're good.
They do that, bro. They have that tendency.
All good. What's up, Off Index? You around?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm at work. Just I guess doing a little work. Plus on here and then TG on X and all that stuff. So yeah, that's it's so I'm just trying to be as active as possible. But the markets, to be honest with you, I just watch my stuff. I tell you one thing that I missed out on, and I put it in the DTN thing, the S Swift, man. If I get screwed on that, I'm gonna be so pissed because I swapped it out by mistake at 1.2 million, and now it's like 16 million. So that could be your freaking retirement stock right there. So hopefully that kind of does well. Let's hope it goes high, but if it goes low, I'll buy it.
No, I'll have to look at that, man.
Yeah, S Swift, I believe. I think it was S Swift. Yeah, it's
Yeah, sheep with hat.
yeah, ship with hat. Yeah, man, it's crazy.
It's crazy how many bangers get called in that group, and like I don't even have to be there. My subs are in there calling out whappers, dude.
The only problem is because you obviously you're running your own project and stuff like that, so it's hard to look and just pay attention to the stuff as well, and then you might miss it right away. So that's kind of the only issue on my end, at least, right? Because obviously other people are different, but on my end, at least, that's kind of how I miss some of the stuff, because you're busy doing obviously other things and talking to your subscribers or your people in the TG or on Spaces. So kind of sometimes you miss the good stuff, just because you have to run your own project as well.
No, that is the gift and the curse of running an own project. You're locked in and you know a lot about a lot of other projects, but sometimes you're just on the phone. You miss the pump on something else. You missed the long you could have got on something. There's it's just anything, right? There's only so much time in a day, but good stuff, Alpha man. We're definitely gonna look.
Well, I definitely know I can't be scalping because I have no time. Because, like I said, you just gotta watch, right? So you gotta know, get in and get outs, and it's tough, but it is what it is, right? I just want my project to go to like 10 million, and then we'll be okay.
No, we'll definitely take a look at your project a little later. We lost Brett. He's trying to get back up, but it's not letting me bring him back up for some reason. But let's throw it over to DCA. DCA, how you doing this morning, and how you feeling about the market in general? What are your thoughts?
Is it morning?
Oh no, my bad. It's this afternoon. How you doing? And it's morning somewhere though. But what are your thoughts on the market and how you doing?
Well, I'm a little pissed at my chart, but it is what it is, right? I got that guy.
I saw. Give everybody the rundown. Yeah. Doesn't know. We need the DCA drama.
Oh, which one? The copycat ticker of the fucking guy that.
Oh, give us all of it. I'm out of date. Give me all the tea.
Oh yeah, you guys. Okay, so I was in a CTO before I launched this, and I was like busting my ass, and these dudes were like totally comfortable, like, oh, we'll be the like, we'll invest in it, and you know, you do the spaces and stuff like that, right? And they were totally fine with me, and they were fucking farming the shit out of the chart. That's the guy who launched the copycat DCA. He was in my CTO, and I even put to the group, I was like, hey, I'm walking away from this. Like, I went to get the CTO creator fees from Pump Fund, and they're like, oh, well, the dev is still around and da 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 da. And I'm like, these motherfuckers, right? I thought, you know, we like CTO'd this like dead project. And yeah, that like weird frog cabal that's pushing the one, his name's Jason Barden, but I haven't figured out the rest. I found a picture online of this like fat motherfucker that's probably him, but I don't know for sure. And I want to be for sure before I put him on blast. But yeah, I mean, people are dicks
that's
out
crazy.
here, but
I
I'm
didn't
kind
know
of
there
like
was a
on
counterfeit
this.
DCA.
You didn't?
No, they're using the same ticker and same concept.
Yeah, they launched like a couple days after me. So, but it's not a reward. So it's not exactly like a knockoff. And, you know, you just got to kind of outlast these people out here. And the thing that for me is that they're like running around saying they're a CTO. And I'm like, these guys, that's what they do. They probably get with people and find like these unsuspecting, like well meaning people and then convince them that they're in a CTO. And I'm like, that's what they did to me. That's
No,
why I wanted to be the dev behind my own project, is because it was like I was pushing the CTO. You remember how I said that was part of like what motivated me is to help these CTOs, because like these guys got me to like sell my XRP and keep buying the supply, because supply control is the way to do it, right? I'm like, fuck all you guys, man. That's why I just have like the dev wallet of DCA, and I'm just like, you can do it without all that shit. I don't know.
So
I
what
don't
what
know. What do you
happened?
guys think about supply control? What do you guys think about like buying all of the supply? I don't feel like that's even like ethical in a rewards token.
I think it's
You
Because
have
then
you
you're
practical.
just
have to
like
have
taking all
supply
the rewards.
control.
You have to buy all of
No,
it.
but you shouldn't have a percentage, so you kind of control the situation because you're not going to sell on yourself, right? When I launched, I actually did that on purpose, and I did it with 87 Sol, and then I distributed the tokens to people that did the pre-sale, and you can see they haven't sold. You know, maybe a couple people sold, but I think in a lot of projects you need to have that type of a supply control, just so it doesn't tank your obviously project. Like you're working hard, and then you can have some asshole will just sell on you without any,
Like what
he
happened
doesn't
to me.
care. They just don't care. But that happens
Yeah.
80% in projects. It's just crazy. Everyone you look at the Soul Boost, somebody just dumped $1,500. Like, why can't you sell slower? And these other projects. So it just happens. It's crazy. So the more supply control you have, the less chances that could happen to you, because you're just holding the floor higher. But some people might be off with that. But obviously you going about it from a good, a good in a good way, right? Because you wouldn't do that to other people. But trust me, there's a lot of people that they don't care about you. That's the truth.
That's what I'm noticing out here. And like I said, you know, trying to onboard friends and onboard people from like different platforms, I think really might be the way to go here, because I think CT seems so cooked. Like there's like a few good ones, and those are the ones that I'm like indexing and like getting in now, but God, man, like either you have to be like fast, and I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I'm actually with Alpha Index. I think supply control is actually bullish if not done with malicious intent. Like I think that Trump really laid the blueprint. When they launched that, they had like 70-80% supply control, and it just pumped because they had so much supply. And we've seen that with other coins. Some of the alpha on how you send the coin is you get together a whale chat, everybody with X amount percentage they show proof, and then they lock up X amount percentage. Ideally in a for real whale chat, you get everybody to have like 2% plus, and then everybody agrees to lock up a percent for 6 months, 12 months, whatever it is. And that's big time supply control right there. Even just verifying wallets of who's in the whale chat consistently and keeping that supply locked up is big, and people can move as a unit. So I'm bullish on supply control, but then it can be used maliciously, and then also against people who are kind of noobs to the space of supply control while they're using you as exit liquidity. But like as a dev, if you're like, I got a percent and that's really all, I'm like, man, you don't really got enough, because like how incentivized are you to really keep sending this? There's too much. How much do your actual friends have, right? Like if I got a couple percent, if I got 3% and Clutch got 3%, well then I might as well have 6%, because I know I can trust Clutch and we're going to move together. But not everybody has a homie like a Clutch to where it's like, between the two of us, we got 5, 10, 12%, whatever it is, and we know we can maintain this chart and fire more at opportune times. And then the other thing of supply control is having an idea of, all right, this whale who I don't know is selling a big bag right now. I'm going to sell off some of my bags, so when that whale's done buying, I can fire it. I can buy back up everything they sold and keep it that level. And like those are the type of things you can do with real supply control if you're using it correctly, and just having a group that knows the right areas to do things in.
So how much should I buy up?
That's kind
As
of
much as you can afford.
Yeah.
You want as
50%?
much in your possession or your people that you absolutely trust and can vouch for that they're not worried about cheeseburger money. Those are the people that you want to hold the most of your token. But yes, you want to buy as much as you can afford, DCA.
And Timbo, you're a perfect example, right? You will put like with your CTO. It's the same thing. You got somebody in there will clip you for $500, which is nothing compared to where you want to take it. But people are just poor or whatever. It's just crazy.
Right. And I mean, with anything, bro, like especially, and I'm not like pointing it out or talking down or anything, but in DCA's case, she came on a very prominent space at 10K. There's no telling who's listening to that space and who grabs supply and could, we hit 178K and then we get popped. I mean, there's no telling what characters we're in. So you have to be very careful when you're at these lower market caps, how you maneuver and who you invite in, because honestly, they can destroy your project.
Yeah, that was
I'm taking notes. I'm taking notes.
Like good stuff. Go ahead.
Oh, well, yeah, and I accumulated more supply obviously when we had that push with like the rewards and stuff, but I'm wondering if there's like a magic number ideally that I should get. And like I said, I think shifting my focus a little bit less or a little bit more away from CT and a little bit more towards, like adults and like grown-ups and things like that aren't in, not that you guys aren't adults and grown-ups, but you know what I mean? Like that aren't like, that
it's a lot of kids on campus.
Well, yeah. And then like, I think that one guy that got in, I guess he deleted his account, but in all fairness, he said, he goes, I'm new to this. I don't know what I was doing. And I was like, you could have just admitted that you fucking did that, but whatever. What was I going to say? Oh yeah. The spaces. Yeah. It just doesn't seem like it's a smaller space than people realize.
No, that's true. And like if I was gonna say like a magic number, I think it's bullish to have 50-60% that you have supply
50,
control
60?
on. But that being said, you don't want to overexpose yourself to your own project to where like you're gonna have to sell it. Ideally you'd like to have a nice chunk yourself and then some whales that you trust that are holding a few percentage points themselves, and then a deeper inner circle of whales that are holding a few percentage points and willing to lock up, 1 to 2 percentage points for 6 to 12 months or something along those lines.
See, I just have those few whales in that whale chat. I don't really have anyone else that's really like wanted to like buy 1% and hold it and be in that chat. There's just like the 4 or 5, and yeah, the 2 of them buy 2 or 3%, and they last like a week.
Yeah, people want to get rich overnight. Like people, a lot of people are probably coming in and they're expecting to see insane volume right away and get their initial investment back in a couple of days, like we did back in like 2021 on BNB and stuff. But it's just not realistic to get in a project that's sub 100K and have that happen. You're out here grinding daily. You're coming up with new plans. It's going to be a slow and steady push until it gets to that point to where there's a lot of volume just naturally coming in based on whatever hype. But it just starts doing it one at a time, finding somebody, they got a friend, they bring that friend, that friend sees it go up, 200-300%, whatever it is, because you're just naturally grinding and bringing in buyers. They're seeing the rewards coming in. Well, then that friend brings in 3 more friends, and then the process just kind of, trickles out like that. But you got to have some people that are willing to come in and just scoop up some, or yourself, right? And then you use it to form the right partnerships and stuff like that, or lock up a bunch of it yourself, whatever, or use that USDC that you're accumulating in your case for, to do cool stuff for the community. There's a ton of different stuff you could do, but yeah, as much percentage as you can get, and, ideally have other people getting support with you.
Okay. Taking notes. 50 to 60% should be my goal. Okay.
Yeah.
Like I said to Clutch, I'm like, dude, I'll go pick up. Huh?
Oh, I was just saying, yeah, I like it.
And then you can use those rewards that you earn to buy back the chart for giveaways.
That's what I've been doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been buying back with the rewards.
Yeah, so obviously you'll gain supply control there, right? Because you're gonna buy into your own chart, and obviously you should have your own supply as well, right? Obviously that's what it is. So once that market cap looks nice, then people look at it differently. But people get clipped anyway. Like BTCR, somebody connected to his there was a fake TG group that started a fake TG group, and they put a bad link and they drained like 3 people for like $5,000 each. It's crazy. So you gotta.
That's how you know you're really cooking when that happens, though.
Right? When they start doing that, yeah, and then people click it. It's unbelievable. People are so dumb because obviously they're already bought in and they know there is a real TG, and they still click on and then once it asks you to put a code in and a phone number, whatever, it just goes boom. Because most likely it's when it's connected to the bots, right? And that's when it just drains you because you have it connected to TG. So then it goes into your wallet and just takes it out instantly. So. Yeah, you got to be careful.
Yeah, that's
the BTCR.
Yep. That every project that we've been a part of that really started cooking, it had that fake TG pops up. Then they promise people an airdrop or something that they connect to a wallet and verify or stake or something along those lines. There was a dude, I'm not going to drop his name because a lot of MFers probably listen and know him because he's been around our circle for a minute, but he was still kind of noobish back when me and Clutch helped launch this coin called Fufu. There was a coin that me and Clutch helped launch. We did their early community building and just promotion and marketing and stuff. But the coin sent to like 14 million, and it took them a little while to get to that 14 million mark. It was like 60 days, 70 days, somewhere in that range. And along the way, though, it's, the fake TG pops up, and this dude, he went and he connected and this dude knows me. He has my personal phone number. He's been to my house. Like he could have hit me up and be like, dude, how come you didn't tell me that you guys were gonna do this, right? And so, dude connects his TG to the, my bad, he goes to TG, connects his wallet, and like he gets drained for, at that point in time, it was worth like 6K. And then it Fufu went on like a 10X from there. And so dude had FOMO. He had finally got some more capital, went and bought some more Ethereum, bought some more Fufu, and used the same wallet because he's like, well, if they already got everything, they're probably not going to come back again. So as soon as he got the Fufu, they drained him again for like another 3K at those levels. And it went like 30X from there. And so like the amount hackers get people for is insane. And like it truly worth it. It's worth like having like little meetings with your community and educating them after these big pumps happen and telling them, because I've seen it happen in NFTs too. You know, I was a part of an NFT project, and somebody that has my phone number, you know, can text me. In those days, I was on Facebook a lot. You know, the best way to reach me was Facebook Messenger. The dude messaged me on Facebook Messenger. I didn't answer for 15 minutes, and the hacker told him on Discord, if you don't do this in the next few minutes, you're going to miss out. And the dude connected his wallet and got like 15K worth of NFTs drained and stuff. And it was like, dude, you know I'm not going to talk to you like that. And like he's like, yeah, as soon as I did it, I was like, this was a bad idea. And the next thing you knew, it was gone. And I was like, yeah, man, who could have saw that one coming? What's good, Brad?
Yeah,
You made
I don't know. So
Yeah, brother,
I don't
I'm back
usually
in.
eat edibles in the middle of the day, so I apologize. I'm just like listening.
Well, let's check in with Brad. I think we still got Brad here. What's up, Brad? How you doing, homie? And how are you feeling about the market right now?
Oh, you know, I'm feeling absolutely just super bullish all the time. I'm feeling even more bullish whenever it goes down. I'd like it to do that again, probably a little bit. You know, not too much, of course, you know, but just enough. But yeah, no, I'm feeling pretty good about everything. Liking seeing all these people that we've been, you know, getting in and watching the community grow has been really cool. Seeing people like DCA and you know, Alpha Rewards Index and all these people like that, man, it's been really cool. And then, you know, EAC, of course, you know, just like hearing him grow in like the past, like, you know, few weeks into like this professional shiller now, you know, it's just fantastic hearing it and seeing these people. And DCA, I'm sorry you had to go through that and you had to, you know, pay the tuition, you know. It's tuition always sucks, you know, learning through it. But that's the next thing I have to learn as well is supply control and stuff. You try to do you know, fair launches and stuff like that sometimes where you don't own very much of it. Try to give everybody a fair chance. But well, you know, when you give people fair chances, you know, they take full advantage of those fair chances. A lot of times. So
Yeah.
very few people you can trust in this space. Come here, Jackson. Come on, buddy. Sorry, I'm with my kid in Walmart. We're working bread. But
Yeah.
But yeah,
I haven't even gotten together with like my girlfriends and stuff to like set them up, but I know I can get quite a few of them to grab like 1%. I just need to go set it up for them pretty much.
Yeah, that's the thing
Like
with normies. Normies don't want to feel like, because like, dude, you gotta, and like maybe it was different for you guys, right? But like I came in super OG, and like I'm not even trying to like stunt or brag, but like when I came in, like I didn't buy my first Bitcoin from Coinbase or like Binance. There was a site called localbitcoins.com. I PayPal'd some dude some money on PayPal. This dude was in like Iran, I think. And then like 30 minutes later, I got a Bitcoin back. And it was like the longest 30 minutes ever, because like this dude had 100% payout accuracy, and that's why I felt comfortable enough to send him the money. But I was like, dude, am I gonna be the one that he really just decides to run off with his money? And like it was my first ever crypto transaction, so like I really didn't know exactly how long it was supposed to take. So like I'm just panicking the whole time, sweating bullets, and then I get it. And then I remember the first time when I had it finally moved some money over to Binance, because I was gonna start playing on Binance a little bit. and I send in the Bitcoin and waiting for it to hit and clear, dude, I'm sweating bullets. And you know, like I copy and paste it, go back, double check it, come back, triple check it. And then I'm checking, you know, to see the, you know, the transaction on the blockchain. So like it used to be super stressful, you know, to do this. But like, I still think even us, like we've got it good, but I think your average normie coming in, they're just like, well, I don't know exactly how I get my money out, you know? So like they want to understand how they're going to get their money out, and then they want to understand where their money's going. And so like that's the big thing with normies is they really do need the hand holding, and they just want to feel like they're just not giving their money away to something. And you know, like they've all heard the horror stories that this person lost their hard drive and it was gone forever, or this person hit the wrong letter and it was gone forever. Crazy freaking story. And again, I'm not going to dox this person because they're around our group for a minute, but this dude, he was just tight for money too. So like it wasn't like he had a lot of Solana to spare, but he texted me one day and he's like, man, I messed up and I sent to the wrong Solana wallet. And I was like, well, did you copy and paste it? Because it might have been yours. It might have been like somebody we know and we can get it back. And he's like, no, man, I hit the wrong letter. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And like, for some reason, this dude didn't know he could copy and paste. And he was manually entering each letter and number of the Solana wallet. And I'm like, dude, you have to be a psychopath to do that. I was like, I can't imagine the stress of every single transaction, quadruple checking that I hit each key along the way. But like, dude, like most people are probably that stressed coming into the space. So I think you really just got to alleviate the stress for them.
I did that once. I sent Solana to like a CA once. Like I went to send it from like Robinhood to yeah. And it was I was in that J-Proof project, you know, and I grabbed it right away when I saw him post it. And so I made it back fairly quickly, but yeah. I was like, fuck. But like literally like 2 seconds after I did that, it sent anyways. So like I was okay, but I was like, oh, that was stupid.
Dude, I've actually done that one time to myself and sent it to a contract by mistake. And I was on Blowfish.
Yeah. Where does it go when that happens?
It goes to to oblivion. It goes someplace it can never come back from. It just goes to that contract.
What about the old like burning the I don't know. When I was first I was like practicing with these rev share tokens and the LPs, and like I somehow fucking like just fried $1,000. That was fun.
Dude, were you around for Slurp? Or Slurp? Maybe
Almost. Slurp tools when they drained everybody from using the bundles, bro, was wild, dude. It's crazy.
Well, maybe I'm thinking of the wrong one.
Do you guys remember Cycle?
No.
Do you remember Cycle where they introduced staking? That shit was like pretty high. And like the dev introduced like a staking system where you could stake your Cycle coins and then like instantly drained it.
That's crazy.
That wasn't that long ago. That was like 2 months ago.
Oh, I missed that altogether. That sounds like a scam from 2020. I would have saw that coming from right away.
That's crazy.
Dude, so like the Slurf thing or the Slurf token I'm thinking of, and maybe I'm saying it wrong, but like this dev, he got a pre-sale together, raised a ton of money, and then when he went to go burn the liquidity tokens, he accidentally burned the Slurf tokens he was supposed to send out to everybody. So there was a ton of liquidity, but nobody had any tokens, or nobody had any of their tokens they're supposed to buy. But then like everybody just ended up giga sending. People just ended up buying it up because it was super thick in liquidity and nobody had tokens.
So the liquidity thing, I have been trying that, made a LP that is paired with the Sack Boys project. I did it when it was at like 300K. But I guess I'm not entirely like sure about that. You know what I mean? Like the dev from that project, the arbitrage project, said that they'll do a stream with me tomorrow and talk about it, because I'm kind of curious. It was Gold Rush who was telling me about it. You know, the guy who is doing Gold Rush and All Will Retire. He was talking about that too. And yeah, it's interesting. It's supposed to like bolster your as their market cap goes up, it makes their tokens in my liquidity pool worth more. Therefore, like my liquidity is more.
So it's kind of on that track. The liquidity pool itself is worth more. But the where it gets interesting to me for these and I haven't dug into all this on chain, because we just met this dude last night, and like I'm taking this 100% that like everything he said is true. And like I looked a tiny bit last night while he was talking, and a lot of it looks legit, you know, at face value. But like where it's interesting to me for these rewards tokens, if one goes up, well, Arbitrage bots are gonna go to that pool where it's cheaper and buy those tokens with whatever, you know, however they get there. And that's going to end up generating fees for both the rewards projects. So like in this case, I think it actually works out, and the value of the pool is going up. So it's just it's almost like saying like it doesn't necessarily bring the value, unless I'm totally misunderstanding something. It doesn't necessarily bring the value of your token up. It just brings the value of that pool up. But it's good for your token, because that means there's more value flowing into that pool, which you get the fee rewards on from people having to buy your token within that pool or using that pool, and then obviously the buy and sell tax fees.
Yeah, that's tricky.
So like it's kind of like you can trade Ethereum and Solana paired to Bitcoin, but just because you're pairing your Ethereum to Bitcoin doesn't mean your Ethereum's going up with Bitcoin. But if you have your Ethereum in that pool, when people come to swap their Ethereum for Bitcoin, you're going to be a benefactor of it. Or when they swap their Bitcoin to go to Ethereum later down the line.
I'm gonna study this when I haven't eaten an edible.
Yo, Panda, DM me at Dope Sales on X if you want to come on. I'll shoot you a link. You can come on right now, or I can add you our group chat where we got this on. But
so
I think it's an. Oh, go ahead, bro. Ask the question.
Yeah. So when it comes to these rewards tokens, like I've ran plenty of volume bots and done a whole bunch of stuff like that throughout my course of time. But when it comes to these, like the tax tokens, like running one on a tax token, like how does that work? Do you just like absolutely just like burn through it like super quick, or like how does that work? That's probably something I need to ask Trader Max actually, but like I don't know if y'all have messed with that yet. Like running volume bots on these rev share tokens.
Oh, dude,
I'm thinking about doing that for my push.
You're gonna get hit with the tax, but you're gonna you as a dev are getting that tax back anyways. So you just dump that tax and put it back in the bot.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So me and I don't want to like I always feel like I'm bragging, but I'm really just saying this like as teaching moments and shit. But like when me and Clutch, oh thank you Lee for reposting the stream, my dog, and Panda DM me, and I'll keep an eye out for it. Send you a link if you want to come hang with us, bro, or girl. I don't know if you're male or female, but I know you're a Panda and that works for me. But anyways, if me and Clutch launched the Trump token, we had a 3% buy and sell tax on it. But like, dude, those rewards, we were just airdropping the holders and burning and all that good stuff. And then when we needed to pump some volume, we just do it ourselves and just account for it and get the tokens back to us. And it was another way of accumulating more supply for us too, you know, in that manner. So like the bot, you know, putting bots on a tax token isn't bad. You know, you're just gonna have to keep feeding them and taking care, you know, staying on top of it and that good stuff. But it you know, I noticed that not enough tax tokens aren't really doing it. And I think that me as a trader, that would be super attractive to me, because like that's the biggest knock against a lot of tax token is like, the volume to get in, the volume to get out, you know, it's not there. But especially now, if you guys got ahead of the curve with throwing bots on these tax tokens, it really hasn't been done yet. It's always been organic.
Wait, you guys launched a rewards coin?
Dude, me and Clutch might have launched the first rewards coin on Solana. I might be mistaken with that point, but we launched it like in 20.
Where is it now?
It was Trump token. We launched a Trump token before the president.
Oh.
Yeah, we airdropped, I want to say 200K in rewards to people over the course of the life of that token.
Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty insane, but it was different then. You know, like we didn't have rev share. Clutch coded the contract himself, and we launched it on Fluxbeam. It was super ghetto. Like we had the onboard people directly there.
This guy keeps asking if we were talking about Recycle Coin.
I don't think we were talking about Recycle Coin. I haven't heard of that. I don't think we're talking about that one, Panda. Let me check my DM, see if Panda hit me up.
He said, can you talk more about that token and what your thoughts are?
Oh, I found Panda in the DMs. I'm gonna add him to the live stream chat, and he'll be able to jump in. Talk more about what token? Yeah, but once we get to Panda down here, we'll figure out what token he wants to talk about. I'm down to talk about a lot of tokens. I'm gonna look at some charts here soon in a second. All right, Panda, I just added you to the live stream chat. Jump on, homie. We'll get you up here and check in with you. Thank you to MSC for reposting the stream. We truly appreciate it. Everybody, do your part. Let's get some value from people today. We'll look at some charts and diagnose some stuff here too. But having fun with this combo right now and talking about the tax tokens. But no, I mean, DC, you're crushing it, man. You're definitely going the right direction. You show up, you're expanding outside of CryptoX. Eventually, it's gonna pop, and all the people in CryptoX aren't gonna be able to ignore it. So you're definitely doing all the right stuff.
I think that's the thing. I think like focusing on a target market that is maybe beyond this space is going to be kind of the kicker, because I haven't even, like I said, gotten my friends onboarded yet. And if it takes too long, apparently you need like a certain amount of followers on TikTok. And so if I can't get to that, then I'll just use my personal one. But like my friends, I've even sent them the thing. I'm like, do this, follow this video, download the Jupiter, send me your address. And they still haven't done it. And I'm like, you guys, come on. And they all tell me, they're like, oh, how are you making money on meme coin? And I'm like, I try to show them. But really, the way that I've been making money prior to this was like, and getting in a CTO. Before that, I was just like, to be quite honest, I just threw in $1,000 and I took my 2x and bounced. And I could like make like a good income doing that. But now I'm just chilling. Like I just keep accumulating this.
I mean, oh, sorry, I was trying to answer Panda. But with the normies like that, you got to push them, you know. And like the big thing is once they see some returns on it, then it's easier to keep them, you know, just on board with it. but I would just get them on
Yeah,
the
I
phone.
wish I would have had that proportional thing set up first. That was a good call, Alpha. I had the reward system set up so that it wasn't, rewarding the biggest holders as much.
Oh yeah, so you changed it to where you get more if you hold more now, like a bigger percentage. How's that work?
Yeah, it's better. At
Yeah,
least for
I
me.
just wonder what
Like,
percentages were in general.
yeah. And I think it's more beneficial for the whales and the ones that are holding a larger amount too. So they can benefit when like people do shit like yesterday. We made it on the top 10 for volume.
Dude, that's amazing for a
But that's
rewards
another
token.
one. They don't people don't realize that like the volume typically precedes like an increase in price. So those are like the other factors that you want to watch.
The other thing is, like a lot of your community too is probably going to use, since they get USDC, they're going to just go ahead and buy back more tokens and stuff anyways and continue with the volume.
Yeah.
Well, let me I'm going to play a little round of music here, and then I'm going to come back with some charts. Give me one song, guys, to get my charts up, and then we'll get into breaking some stuff down. We'll look at Bitcoin, we'll look at Sol, we'll look at DCA's chart, we'll look at Timbo's chart, and we're definitely looking at the Alpha Rewards Index chart. And let me get this one started here. But yeah, we'll look at all these charts, and I'll try to call some trades on air. Obviously, the homies charts we are suggesting that people. Well, I'm not going to suggest them. I'm not a financial expert. My IQ isn't about on 2% on X, but I support a lot of my homies charts. But let me get this quick song in, and then I'm going to get some charts up, and we'll do some trading talk. We're almost back, guys. We're about to be back here, baby. Maybe I'll play one more. Maybe I gotta debut that Trade Talk song for the stream. We're not gonna do it today, though. We're back. We're back. What's up, EAC? How you doing, homie? Let me check in with you, bro, before we look at some charts here. How you feeling about the market?
Yo. Yeah, I haven't really checked the charts. I'm gonna check them. I was just in a space. Appreciate you guys. Like, I'm restreaming this, so it's content that can go out for me. But it's promoting you guys too. So it's a win-win. I think that. So I was in a space shilling. And so I appreciate, like you guys putting out this content every day.
Oh, all good, homie. I appreciate the support. I am, dude, I'm just fired up to really just be able to do something like this. I wanted to do this for a while. I got my start, kind of building on social media, actually doing videos. Then I came over to X and video really wasn't that much of a thing then. And now, hey, we're getting some video stuff back. So I think it's fun, dude. It's just different talking with the homies and seeing their faces. It just feels like we're really hanging out as opposed to like Twitter feels like more like a conference call. And this is just like, yeah, we're hanging out. I'm going to do some degenerate stuff today.
Yeah, no, like I like this. It's like, hanging out.
For sure. You said you haven't looked at the charts at all today?
I'm looking now, like it's just, kind of staying steady, nothing to kind of get excited over.
I got some smoke in my eye. That has me unexcited right this second. Let me get up this Bitcoin chart here. And actually I'll start with the Solana chart just because it's my favorite to talk about right now, even though Bitcoin moves the market. Feel free to chime in. Anybody that's got any thoughts or any questions. Yeah, we'll go ahead and start with Bitcoin. Why not? You guys see my Bitcoin screen here? Let me come back. Sweet, you guys can see.
Yes.
So you'll notice on let me go to the daily here. So guys, you'll notice on my chart here, I got these lines, this light blue line up here, this yellow line right here, this green line right here, and this purple line right here. Those are the EMAs. The EMA stands for exponential moving average. Some people like to trade the MAs. We like to trade the EMAs. So really all that means is that it's the average of the past X amount of candles with exponential movement. So for example, if we're talking the 21 EMA, which is that yellow line on the screen, let me come back my mouse here. This yellow line right here, since there's a few lines here, this yellow line, that's the 21 EMA. So that line is the average price of the past 21 candles with exponential movement. This line down here is a 200 EMA. So this line here is the average of the past 200 candles with exponential movement. The overall basis in our trading strategy, it revolves around these EMAs. Now there's a ton of pieces of the puzzle, and we'll start getting into more depth on here. If you come to Trade Talk, we do a lot of this too. But I want to take advantage of being able to do the screen share and just talk about stuff easily in real time and field questions in real time. But like, yeah, we got our EMAs on here, and then you'll notice these dotted lines. These are the Fibonacci lines. These are where the market makers and the major players are selling. Then we've got our DMI indicators down here. These give us a lot of market reversals. We've got our volatility indicators right here. This gives us a lot of market reversals too. We use Bitcoin dominance, we use USDT dominance, but until you can grasp that the how the EMAs work. Everything else in our system doesn't really mean as much, right? Like the way I explain it is each one of these tools, the EMAs, the DMI indicators, the volatility indicators, the Fibonacci lines, they give you another piece of the puzzle. But the biggest piece you're going to learn as a beginner is the 21 EMA and the 200 EMA. And again, the 21 EMA is this yellow line here, and the 200 EMA is this purple line here. So the overall theory is once we lose the 21, and by lose, we mean we print an entire candle below this 21 EMA, we're going down to the 200. We'll generally test the 200 and then go back to the 21. So as people that are using the charts to learn to make money in the market, there's several ways we can use this knowledge. And this is all math. Right? This is all averages, the law of averages, and this is why it works out. It's not going to work out every time, but it works out the majority of the time because it's the law of averages. So on longer time frames, if we're staying above the 21, we're pretty bullish. This, you can see here on this daily CME Bitcoin, dude, we've been above the 21 for a while. A bunch of days in a row we've been above the 21. This is why me and Clutch are saying we're in a Bitcoin only bull run right now. But once we lose this 21 and print a full candle below it, we'll expect this daily chart to go down to the 200, wherever it meets it at, hit the 200, come back up, test the 21, probably get above it again, and then come back down and test the 200 again. And you guys are like, wow, this sounds like BS. So let me go on a shorter time frame. Now, before we really get into these shorter time frames here, we and what are the odds I come here right when we're testing the 200? But the things like I'm going to show you on these charts is valid on every time frame. But the longer the time frame, the more valid it is, because you got to remember on these charts, these green and red bars, these are candles, right? They represent the 15-minute chart. They represent 15 minutes of buys and sells. When we go back to the daily chart, each one of these represents a full day of buys and sells. So these EMAs we got on here, they have a lot more data to back them up to where we can feel like stuff is going to hold a lot more true. It doesn't mean it's not going to hold true on the 15-minute, but see how this worked here, right? We had a big move up. The CME got closed over the weekend. We got a pump. We were above the 21. We lost the 21 here. On this candle right here, we lost the 21, printed a full candle below it. Now we fully expect this to go to the 200. And look what happened. The first attempt, it bounced off the 200. Now, what we probably are going to see play out over the next little bit is it's going to bounce off this 200 and then come back and go up and test this. But you can see we printed a full candle below the 21 right here. And just like clockwork, it came and tested the 200. Now, you can even go down to the 1-minute chart. Right? Now, the 1-minute chart, again, this information it doesn't have a lot of data, but and it goes both ways too. So like when we're bearish, and I'm not saying Bitcoin was bearish, but on this short little time frame, it was bearish for a little bit. You can short the 200, right? Because it'll go from the 21 to the 200, back to the 21 or below the 21. But we're overall kind of bullish for right now on Bitcoin, it felt like. But you can see here we were above, came back down, tested it, came back up. So you can use this stuff across multiple time frames, guys. And you guys on the panel, let me see if anybody's trying to get in. I know there's Dude Panda trying to get in. But any of you guys on the panel, does this go ahead, DCA.
Oh, I was just going to ask if okay if I'm with me using your audio on my TikTok.
Oh, go for it. Anytime.
I just have the sound of it, I don't have I didn't flip the camera or anything.
Oh, dude, I don't care at all. It's the internet. I assume everybody's I assume everybody's gonna clip it or take my picture and all that good stuff. All right, let me get this guy.
All right, I'm just
let me get this guy Panda the thing here. All right, Panda, I'm sorry. Everybody listening, I'm sorry, but this Panda guy seems pretty interested in joining, so always looking to make new friends on the stream. We don't really gatekeep this stream. It's really just about bringing people together, learning, all that good stuff. We want to get good projects on here. We want to dig into them. All right. So yeah, we got our Bitcoin right here. So now you guys can kind of see the overall strategy, how it comes together. Now let me stop sharing this, and I'm gonna share my Solana stream here now, because I got a feeling we'll get a good, and we actually got a good Bitcoin trade right on this. I would have long Bitcoin right there if that was actually trading right now. I might have been wrong too, right? But you never know. No, this is Solana. So same thing on Solana. On the daily chart here, you've seen how Solana had its pump up. This is when we got that big pump up, last month. Everybody got super bullish about mid-July. Everybody was saying the bull market's back. We didn't even go to all-time highs. Now it lost steam. We came down. Now, it did gain some support on this Fibonacci line right below the 200. It went back up, and now we're coming back down and testing this again and testing the 21 here. So in my opinion on Solana, we're kind of in a spot to where you want to see it bounce. If the day, and we've got what time is it? We've got a couple hours left on the daily, but you'd like to see this daily bounce off this 21 that's at 174.10. Otherwise, if we lose that, you start expecting that we come down here and test this 200. And if we lose that again, well, now we're starting our path down. So, right now on Solana, I'm looking at quick scalps in and out. I don't want to hold anything too long. So, in my opinion, looking at Solana, it looks like Solana feels like Bitcoin's gonna lose it. Solana is front running the dump, which has been going on for a while. So to be real, the trade I would be looking for on Solana is on the pump up at the 50 or the 200, looking to short and then ride it back down here. A 25x short with Solana, and let's say we get up to 180 and you ride it down to 175 again, dude, you just hit probably an 80% banger with 25x leverage on a win like this. Maybe not 80%, probably about a 60-65% banger, but that'll be a move that'll play out in just a couple hours. So to be honest, I'm still feeling like I should be on the short side of things when we're looking at these time frames. And let's go to a longer one here, the weekly. Probably should have started on the weekly, but just kind of playing around on stream as we go today. So the weekly, nothing too exciting on the weekly. I guess we did get a bullish cross here. We brought this 8 EMA, a shorter time frame over the longer EMAs. That means a little something on the weekly, and this is Clutch drew out this chart, so I can't take credit off it. But it looks like we're establishing a trend, and that's the one thing too. Clutch isn't going to tell you this is the absolute trend right here, because a lot of people will draw lines anywhere on a chart and be like, yeah, well, there's a line here and I do this line there, but there's got to be a reason, right? And like a spot you want to draw from, like an absolute local top or a long-term top, and then you want 3 touches. And preferably 2 wicks and a body, on the candle. So right now on this trend right here, in this downtrend that we're on the weekly here, or it could be a downtrend, I'll say, right? And I think if we scroll out further, it really is a downtrend. But on this downtrend right here, that does look like it's building up. We've got our first touch up here on the wick. We got the touch right here on the wick. And then now it looks like it's going to meet to where this lifetime support has been, and it's filling up. So as we go and fill up this little triangle area here, if we go back up, we're bound to get that third touch with any kind of pump up, even if it doesn't happen this week. It doesn't happen this week, it happens this week. That's just a pump up to where we're at right now, the 180s. That would be our third touch. At that point in time, it's a for real downtrend. So then on this long-term chart, you would expect Solana to go all the way down to here, about 110, if we can't break it. Now, what is possible is that it gets the third touch, it fills this, and then boom, we blast off, and it's the golden bull run back up here to above all time highs. But there's just not that much signaling that's what's going to happen. So this is why you guys see that me and Clutch are quote unquote bearish when we're talking on the morning show. But it's not that we're bearish. It's just the charts aren't giving us much bullish, and what it looks like they are giving us as far as like patterns coming together is it looks like it's going to be bearish. So that's why like a lot of us are just more comfortable on the we got Panda, we got Bread back, are more comfortable on the short side of things. What's good, Panda? How you doing, homie?
Hey, what's going on? Can you guys hear me?
We got you, bro. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. How are you guys doing today?
Oh, doing awesome, man. Good to have you in the convo.
Thank you. Thank you for you guys having me. Just listening to you, learning. I'm not the crypto guru, but I've been in crypto for a while, and I'm just here to listen and talk. And I do have some questions about what you're seeing on the chart and what you guys are seeing in the what you guys are interested in as far as you said that you like Solana. Do you guys get into meme coins? Do you guys really just do altcoins? I'd really like to introduce myself and get introduced to you guys.
Oh, bro. Well, you came to the right space, man. We're some for real degenerates. We do it all. So nice to meet you, bro. I'll give you a quick rundown on my story, and then we'll throw it around, man. Let's get everybody get a chance up here to introduce themselves. It's always nice to make new friends. But my name is Andrew Sales. I've been in crypto since 2017. I started out playing with Bitcoin, then I started playing with alts. My first bear market, I didn't know what to do, but I knew enough to just hold. I came back for a second bull market in 2021. And then I was playing mostly with alts then too, but then I started experimenting with leverage trading, was naturally okay enough or just smart enough to buy low, sell high with low leverage. And then I got into NFTs, and I thought they were stupid at first, but then I made a ton of money off my first NFT investment. I'm like, okay, these are pretty cool. So then me and the homie started playing NFTs. NFTs died. Me and my homie Clutch, we started doing a morning show on X and just really started, talking about our trades daily. And it just kind of turned into running a trading group, this and that. And then we, because we had a little bit of a following on X, we got asked to help launch a meme coin project back in 2023. And it kind of made sense because they had a cool idea. It was called Fufu. And they had a bot that bought the lows, sold the highs, and burned the profits. And so like it made, as being traders, we're like, yeah, dude, that's cool. It's somebody to get behind. And the dudes that were really running it, they started doing some shady shit, trying to send supply to too many influencers and stuff like that were going to rug. And so we distanced ourselves. But that's when we really started playing in memes again. And, we started playing on Ethereum. Then we got involved on Solana. We were always playing on Solana with NFTs and stuff. But then we started playing with the meme coins on Solana. And that's what led us to a lot of people on the panel right now. A lot of I don't run a project. I have friends that run projects because I'm hyperactive in Web3. But I think everybody up here right now has a project. Most on Solana, some on Polygon. We got EAC on Polygon. But yeah, dude, let me throw it around to the others. They can introduce themselves to you, and if there's anything you want to tell us about you, Panda, feel free.
Yeah. Well, okay. I'll go. EAC. I'm kind of curious about Polygon, and I haven't traded on anything other than Solana so far. And let me exit out of that. I'm getting a bunch of alerts. Sorry. I got into crypto in 2018 and was a part of that when Bitcoin hit 20K for the first time, and it was a big thing. I was just trying to learn. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I was buying all kinds of altcoins and bought into one of those. What was it? BitConnect. It was like a Ponzi scheme kind of thing.
Dude, I remember that.
Yeah, and then I got scared, didn't touch crypto for a few till 2021. Just jumping and dibbling, dabbling. But then in March this year, I just started going hard and been a part of a lot of teams, dev teams, different projects, NFT launches, all on Solana. But I'm interested in learning about other uh, networks, Base, BNB, Polygon, Sui, everything, and just like meeting everybody. What I'm starting to learn is it's really important to like get your network up and meet as many people as you can, get involved, you know, uh, support projects, raid forum, buy into the project if you can, and like soak up as much knowledge as you can because alpha is in your network. You're going to hear about something early if you know more people. So I'm trying to meet more people. I do have a project that I'm working on right now. I didn't really want to come on here and just shill right away and start talking about what I'm doing. But hopefully, like at some point in time, I can. But I'd really like to hear what everybody's working on. And I'd like to join your groups. If you guys got Telegrams, if you guys got Discords, communities on X, I'll be there. And I'm really active, and I'd really like to make this something that I do with all my time. I've lost money. I'm getting it back slowly, and with the more that you know the right people, the more I'm making. So, uh, yeah.
No, good stuff, man. Good stuff. I'm glad we met, bro. You're definitely an OG. If you've been here since 2018 and then you came back, then it sounds like you're out here grinding. We were gonna actually look at some of the charts and projects. So if your project's got a chart, we'll get to it in a bit. And then later in the week, I was gonna have an episode where it's just 100% focused on shilling. So I'll make sure you get on and can really dig into your project then. Let's throw the other homies, man. EAC, why don't you introduce yourself and then we'll throw it around to everybody else because he was asking about Poly and stuff. You're probably that guy to give the explanation on Poly.
Yeah, for sure. Evil Aliens Collective, the weird guy in the room, the Polygon guy in the group. Not a lot of me around, but I'm the easiest guy to support in Web3. I threw up the Discord there for you. If you join, I'll give you a free EAC Alien NFT and 500k EAC token and introduce you to the whole colony that we have in Discord. We're built for the future of gaming in Web3. So about myself, I'm fairly new, 2 years into crypto now. And that's what got me into it was gaming. I saw like what the other side was doing. And I was a gamer and I was like, oh man, that's pretty cool. Like owning digital land and digital assets and being able to, then sell those digital assets. I thought that's definitely the future of gaming. And I think it is the future of gaming. It's just a matter of which big company is going to pull the trigger on it. I hope it's GTA 6 because, that's one of my favorite games of all time for sure. So I'd love it if you could play GTA 6 and earn money. That'd be amazing. And that's what kind of EAC would be focused around, like a guild that would kind of go into that game, try to own digital assets in that game and make money playing games. But EAC is an engaged to earn DAO too. So it's something kind of like unique. I think I'm into decentralization. Polygon is a true like decentralized, like Ethereum's decentralized and like Coinbase is obviously not. But Polygon, I'm bullish on them because they're building solutions for like the entire blockchain. Check out AgLayer. It's going to be like a protocol to connect all chains together, so it can bring liquidity users and seamlessly. Like it's a solution that Web3 needs. So I'm proud to be built out on Polygon and pushing P, as I like to say. But I'd love to have you in the Discord, bro, and show you around and have you in the group too. If you're on X, like I'd really encourage you to like they do daily daily X shows about trading, and then they have a shill space too. So if you're on X, we'd love to have you in there. And it's just, yeah, Andrew is like a wealth of knowledge, and the projects that come into those spaces and are there and continue to show up are real, like, true builders in the space, like, that are, and we all learn from each other. We all hold each other's bags, and we grow together, and they give real feedback too about like how, like, they don't, like, it's not all sugar coating everything. Oh, that's great. Like Andrew tells me, like sell me on Polygon, bro. And I need that because it helps me be better at pitching it.
And he's got a solid Polygon pitch for real, and like he's almost got me convinced. I'm not gonna bullshit. They're just like one little part that I'm still challenging.
Yeah, no, and I appreciate you're making me better every day, bro. And yeah, like I'm right now. I've been doing signage my whole life, so 20 years into, like, I went to school for graphic design, and I sell signs, and I design signs. So. But I work for a boss, and I'm looking just to transition into what I think is definitely the future, like AI, gaming, and Web3. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm working from home right now and multitasking this space. Hopefully my boss doesn't know, but hey, I'm working. I'm selling stuff and I'm making money. So
Yeah, I appreciate that. And I thank you guys for Andrew for taking the moment to have everybody introduce themselves to me, because I'm nobody special. I appreciate you guys bringing me up. You said you don't gatekeep. And, I just highly encourage people to do stuff like this. It can be kind of nerve wracking and, a lot of anxiety, but you got to put yourself out there. And EAC, we have done a space together. I knew your PFP looked familiar, and you and I had talked before about your project a little bit. And I can't remember where, it must have been months ago, but it's April. Yeah, we talked in April. So a little bit. You were telling me about your project. So let's continue the conversation, and like I'd like to learn about it, and I'd like to show up to some spaces and you know meet more of your people and your community, and just do that whole thing. And so yeah, I
100%,
really
like,
appreciate
that's
you
what it
guys.
is, man. The saying is, like, your network is your net worth, and that's like exactly what you were just saying. And this network is amazing that we have here.
Yeah, seem like nice people, open, welcoming. Yeah. And you said you're working from home doing sales. You do sales. I
Yeah,
do sales.
yeah. So I do, like, sales, and I design the signs too. So it makes me kind of better at the sales. The customers really like me because I'm able to turn around their quick, like, turn their proofs around really quick when I proof their signs out and stuff. So yeah, I'm good at it, and like, I enjoy it. It's something that I like, but straight up, I want to make money for myself and not a boss.
Man, I haven't clocked in years. The only time I ever clock in is to help like family. My dad has a business, and I help him sometimes, and I clock in for him. But I always get fired. I'm kidding. No, no. Uh, I feel it, man. It sucks when somebody has power over you. It's kind of why we come to crypto, right? We don't want people having power over us. We want freedom. That's what I think about crypto anyway. I don't know about you guys, but
Well, I
that's
think
what it
Andrew
feels
can
like.
relate to that too. Like, what got me into sales is, like, I was working in production, right? As like making the signs and designing the signs. And I was always looking at the sales guys. I'm like, are you going to sell stuff to keep me employed? And then I'm like, why don't I just, like, sell it? And then I have more empowerment to control my own future. I just go out and sell stuff. So, it takes a little, like, getting outside your comfort zone and building up that confidence to sell things. But once you have that, then like, I really control my own future in my job. Whereas if the company's not busy, well, I'm going out there and selling stuff. So I'm keeping myself employed. And I think once you sell one thing, you could probably sell anything.
Yes, you can. I'm a freelance sales rep, so like I sell for all kinds of industries all over the place and all over the world, and there's no one more independent than the number one salesman. I try to tell anybody like who's trying to make more money or really just trying to get in control of their life, you should go sell something. And then people think that it's like, well, I'm not really a people person. There's a person for you to sell, like to sell to. Like everybody has their own personalities, and you're gonna match with someone out there who's just like you. And a lot of times sales isn't this thing that's like, well, let me try to trick you into buying this thing. That's what everybody thinks, that you got to have this like super gift of gab or something. It's really just sales at core is knowing yourself, being honest, and they either want it or they don't. And you just tell them you have it. And that's sales. And trying to talk to as many people about it as you can, because like you said, you've got to stay busy, and your destiny is in your own hands. All you have to do, it's a numbers game. Talk to more people, tell more people what you do, and that's going to give you more of an opportunity to sell something. So it's not very difficult. I think it's anxiety and people being out of their comfort zone. But that's awesome that you saw the sales guys and you're like, why don't I just sell? You know the business more than anybody else at that point. If you're on the bottom and you've been there for like a year, 2 years, a year is enough. You're probably more of an expert than the salespeople are, because they probably just have always been in sales and have never done what you've done.
That's actually a really good point. It is real too. Like I come from a sales background. I got my start selling drugs, went to jail, got out. It got in the door to door sales, built up to where after some time I had my own company and stuff, and then I ended up starting a healthcare company, and then I started a solar company. And at that point in time, it was my business partner passed away, and I kind of burned out on business, and that's why I was like, well, I have a lot more fun doing crypto than doing business right now, and that's why I just like, you know what, I'm making the jump. I'm going full time crypto. But yeah, dude, there's a lot of sales guys in our circle. Ironically enough, I don't know if Alpha Rewards Index is around, but he's a
What type
sales.
of? Yeah, I just finished with a delivery, so I'm available now. Just had a
Hey, what's
customer.
going on, Alpha?
What's going
I'm
on? I
Panda.
missed you. I'm not sure who you are, Panta, but nice to see you.
Nice to meet you. I can't see you, but it's nice to meet you. And we were just talking about sales. I'm a freelance sales rep for all kinds of different companies. I do marketing and sales consulting, basically. And we were just talking about how easy it is to get into sales, even if you're not really, that's not your forte, and you're kind of like, I'm not a people person, and it's really just, knowing yourself and being yourself and just telling people what you have and telling as many people as you can, so you get more of a chance to get a yes, because you're going to hear a lot of no's.
Yeah.
So
So I'm a finance manager for a car dealership. So obviously I'm in sales, and I make 99% of my salary on commission. So I 100% understand that and actually love it. It's like a
me
drug.
too.
I used to gamble, but now, in a way, this is gambling to me. It's like I want to win. So in a way, the way I look at it is like, I have to present it in a way that it will make you buy it. So I'm actually pretty good at it. I'm not, not gonna pat myself on the back, but I do okay. Yeah, but I like it when it's in my hands versus somebody else's hands. And that's kind of what the cool thing about it is, because my income depends on me. I don't have to ask anybody for the income. I don't have to ask a boss to give me a 4% raise. I can just do it myself. And obviously some days you won't make any money, other days you will, but it's an average type of thing over the month, and then you go, you rock and roll. So yeah, it's a
M-
it's a great profession. I think you can make the most amount of money in sales if you obviously go into the right spot. You have a lot of medical sales is unbelievable. Like these guys make a fortune. It just depends where you get into, right? So once I remember when I started, and a guy told me, he was in the stock market, if you're gonna sell anything, sell something that you're going to make the most amount of money in. Because if you're a good salesman, you can sell anything, right? So, and it's true. If you're good, you got to be a people person though. And really, crypto, like what we're doing now, right? Um, Andrew and all that stuff, we're selling ourselves, right? So we are salesmen because we want people to buy into our project in a way. So we have to present it in a way that people will trust us with their money, and we have to show them on the chart that we're going to be working for you, and to make that your investment good, right? Obviously there's a lot of rugs and all that stuff, but when you land into a nice project and you can rock and roll, so and that's what we're trying to prove, right? And yeah, so are you in any crypto a bit? I know I missed a lot of stuff, so obviously you talked about crypto, so are you in any projects?
Yeah, I'm in quite a few different projects and have been me like launches and CTOs recently. I'm in some Discord groups, but I've got my main ones, and I didn't really go into it because it was my first time and I was doing my introduction, so I didn't want to just like start shilling all my projects. And really, there's only a few that I really would want to talk about. But yeah, I've been in crypto for since 2018 in and out, but in March of 2025 is when I was like, I've got to get in this. Like, I'm seeing too many 16-year-old kids getting rich, and like, I mean, just random people making a living off of this. And I watch YouTube videos, and I just like, I've got to figure out how to do this. And I just started from there, and from not knowing anybody to now I know a lot of people, and I'm trying to meet more. I mean, I know a lot of people, more of like I know of, like we've been passing. It's like I don't have a bunch of relationships. I'm trying to build relationships with people in the space because I want to hear about more. I need to know about projects that are launching, about to launch, that are currently happening. That's how you get the alpha, is like you've got to meet people and be where the people that have what you want are at. And
Well,
yeah.
Well, so if obviously you want to do that, then you got to join Clutch and Andrew Spaces. You get all the alpha you want in there for 3 hours a day. It's crazy, and there's a lot of people that go in there. So if you want to know good stuff, that's the place to go, and a lot of alpha there. Trust me. And we have a good time too. We have a lot of, we laugh, we joke, but it's kind of very cool. A lot of different projects come on, which is very, very nice about them, is that they let other people talk as well. Not like a lot of different spaces that you can't even get in and get a word in, and because you either you got to pay them or this and that. They're just open and great people. So I would definitely join those spaces.
Oh yeah. That's I jumped in and he let me in. I really appreciate that, Andrew, again. And I'm gonna be joining as much as I can. Whether do you guys have like telegrams, or is it just all X spaces and communities on X?
So me and my homie Clutch, he was on here earlier, but he dropped off, I guess. But he lives on a farm. He's probably doing some farm work right now. But we host a space every day, Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern, and then on the weekends we do it at 11 p.m. Eastern. And then Monday, Wednesdays, and Friday we call it trade talks, where we're just hyper focused on the market, and analyzing charts and staying ahead of news. The rest of the week we call it coming in clutch, to where we focus more on like meme coins, chilling, catching up with projects we're in, all that good stuff. This stream here, I do this Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern, and we generally run about 2 hours in this one, and I mix this one up. We have days like today where we vibe, we look at some charts. I wanted to do some more chart looking, since we're on charting day. Some days I'll stream some poker on a decentralized site, and just kind of we'll vibe and play poker. I'll play poker. Other people can join in too and stuff. And then some days we just have it to where it's just, hey, there's a bunch of projects lined up. Let's get them on here. Let's have them chill, and we'll look at it and fire some money at the ones we like. So we do a bit of everything, around here. And then you were asking if we have a Telegram. Me and Clutch have a Telegram that is a private Telegram. It's 3 SOL a month. We do work out lifetime deals, but it's really for people that want to super dial in leverage trading and then just get all the early memes first. But unless you're into leverage trading, the value probably won't be there because we do talk about a lot of the meme stuff openly anyways. We just make sure the good stuff is shown to everybody in the group so they know to get in it. But we do that. We give all the hand holding necessary to be successful leverage trading, and we do kind of what I was just doing here earlier, but in the TG and real time trading. But between all of us, a lot of times there's somebody that's trading full time. We're close to it. That's in there live trading or breaking down their entries. But yeah, that's where we get down. But I always tell people, do make money on the free content, and then if you want to join the private group, we got you. And our goal is within a month to teach you everything to make enough money where you don't feel like you gotta keep paying us. And then if you like it enough where you want to keep paying us, hey, we'll take your money. It's no big deal. But we do most everything out in public anyways.
Yeah, Andrew, man, sometime I gotta hear about your story. You sound like you've got a story. Like you've been on a journey, huh?
I have, man. It's kind of a crazy story. I'll give the brief overview, and I don't know if I ever told it on the stream for real before, but I sold drugs from 50. I grew up in St. Louis, Missouri. It's pretty hood, but I sold drugs from 15 to 20. When I was 20, I these cops beat my ass, took my drugs, and let me go. So I thought I got robbed by some crooked cops. Actually, 2 years later, I wasn't even selling drugs anymore. I was playing poker full time, and I get stopped, and it turns out I got a warrant with a $20,000 bond. So I end up bonding out. My aunt helped me out. I had some poker money too. I got a lawyer, and my lawyer actually got me 5 years probation and stuff. So like, when I got out of jail, there was this dude before, when I was out on bond, and they, my lawyer's like, you want to have a job by the time you go to court. And there was this dude I knew from the poker tables that he managed door-to-door sales teams. And I knew he made good money, but I didn't know exactly what he did. And I call him up and I'm like, hey man, you get me a job. I just got out of jail. I need to make some legit money. He's like, yeah, I got you. I just so happened to be opening a market in St. Louis. Might have been divine intervention, who knows? But anyways, I found out later, he calls his manager in St. Louis and he's like, I got this kid, Andrew. He's kind of ghetto. He's probably not going to work out, but he's my friend, so we'll give him a shot. And so probably fast forward a month and a half, 2 months later, I'm number one sales rep in the office. 4 months later, I'm running the office. And then, probably 5, 6, 7
Dude,
months. Oh, go ahead, bro.
You got your personality. That's what you really shine through. Like your person, like I said, sales is really, you get good at sales when you learn who you are and are comfortable being yourself in front of anybody. And you seem like the kind of person that has always just been comfortable being themselves, and you have a personality, you're very unique just from the get-go. You have a
thank you, bro. Well, it's funny. Side story, that dude that was part of my crypto and sales journey. One time I was like, yeah, there's this book called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. You should read it. It'd probably help you. And I was like, I've actually never read it. I don't need it, but I feel like it would help you.
Yeah, just not giving a fuck. That's the art of not giving a fuck. You got it.
Yeah, but yeah, I appreciate it, man. But yeah, so I was coming up in door-to-door sales. I got promoted to a regional sales manager. I was traveling around the country training, building sales teams, and the whole time I'm on probation. And so half the time I'm missing probation appointments. The other half I'm dropping dirty for weed when I show up. And my PO, I'm like, oh, she's not going to do anything. I'm making good money. Nobody's going to touch me. And I was only making 50, 60 G's a year at that point in time. But this is back in 08. So 50 G's a year was really 100 G's a year now. And I was just a young dude in my early 20s. And I felt like I was untouchable. Well, sure enough, one day she yanked my probation and I had to do 5 months in St. Louis County Jail. And they put me in this drug program. and people in there are like, I smoke crack, I do heroin. I'm like, I smoke a little bit of weed. And they're like, well, what do you really do? And I'm like, I smoke a little bit of weed. But the whole time I read success books, sales books, motivational books. And when I got out, I hit the ground running. You know, my friend Lexi had broke off and started her own door-to-door company. I went to work for her. And within 2 weeks, I was running an office in Columbia, Missouri. And within 6 weeks, I was running offices in Columbia, Missouri, and La Crosse, Wisconsin. And I don't know how familiar you guys are with door-to-door sales, but back then, like, Florida was the mecca of door-to-door because it was warm all year long. So the client that we had this deal through was like, hey, we know his name from before he went to jail. And they might not have said before he went to jail, but like, we knew his name from before. Why isn't he running the offices in Florida? That, you know, that guy was a stud. You know, we want him down there. So I got offered a promotion to go to Florida and run 5 offices. And it was going to be my first chance to ever make 100 G's in a year. Well, like, full disclosure, like I said, I grew up in St. Louis, and, you know, pretty much in the ghetto, poor as shit. The girl I was dating at that time, she grew up pretty well off. So there's a golf course in St. Louis that's pretty nice called Whitmore. She grew up on that. Her dad drove a Porsche. Her and her mom drove Benzes. She told me to pick between her and the job. I picked the job. I went to Florida. I was building my empire in Florida, and my ex-girlfriend saw on Facebook that I had a baby with another girl. You know, my current girlfriend I'm still with, and called my PO and told her I was working out of state because she got jealous. So in 2015, no, my bad. Yeah, 2015, I got extradited to St. Louis. And did 6 months in jail again. I think it was about 6 months in jail. And when I got out that time, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do because my kid had just turned 1, and I had spent like half his life in jail in that point in time. And I was like, I don't know if I really want to travel around, you know, building up door-to-door teams and be away. And I ended up reaching out to this guy named Bill Rowland. He ran that first door-to-door sales company I worked for. It's called 2020 Companies. You can actually look it up on X. But he sold 2020 Companies. Him and his partner sold it for $150 million. And I messaged him on Facebook. You know, I found him on Facebook, kind of like how me and you just found each other today. And I shot him a message, and I was like, hey, man, you don't know me. I don't know you. But I just want to say thank you. Before I worked for your company, I had never heard about personal development and bettering myself through books and stuff like that. And I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to do big things. And I didn't expect him to message me back because, you know, he's a multimillionaire, super wealthy. But sure enough, he sent me his number back. And we ended up talking on the phone for like 2 hours. And kind of long story short, it actually ended up being kind of a long story, I guess, now. But he ended up taking me under his wing. And he helped me build out a door-to-door company, which I ended up making 100 G's in a year off of. Then he helped me build a healthcare company, which I actually went to, at my peak, I was making $50K a month. So I literally went from being in jail to making $50K a month in less than 5 years. And I don't say that to brag, but just to show people what's possible and truly lock in. And then they changed government regulations. I had to shut down my healthcare company. And I wanted to get in this, you know, I wanted to find something that I could make money with my friends doing, that I could help the people I was selling to, and something that was truly good for the world. And that kind of led me to selling solar. And we made good money doing it. And we were doing great as a company. We handled everything from sales to install to follow up. But my business partner passed away. I was getting burned out, not having fun anymore. And I'm like, well, I feel like crypto makes the world better. I have fun doing it with my friends, and I know I can make money doing it with my friends. Why am I doing anything but crypto? And that just kind of led me to my crypto journey. But yeah, that's my story, bro. I didn't mean to make it run so long, but it took a minute to get there.
That was interesting. No, I've got even more questions about stuff that was in there. I'm not going to go to do. We'll do that at some point in time. But how did you get introduced to crypto? Like, where was I don't know crypto, and then all of a sudden now you do? Where was that, and when did that happen?
Dude, that's a great question. So I actually knew about crypto from in my early 20s when I was playing poker, because poker players always owed each other money, and they'd send Bitcoin back and forth just because it was cheaper than sending cash. And so
Wow.
I knew about Bitcoin. It was like 15 or 17 cents, something stupid. And like, I had read about it in the poker forums, this and that. And me and my homies I grew up with, we still did a little game every Monday to where we buy him for $10. And like this one dude who like he had been doing acid since he was 12 and talked kind of funny. And he's like, man, we should all just throw like $10 in Bitcoin. And we all laughed and we're like, damn it, you idiot. And like, sure enough, had we thrown like $10 in Bitcoin in that day and like held it till now, it'd be worth like hundreds of millions of dollars. But that was the first time I can say I truly passed when somebody presented me with the idea in a realistic scenario. But then when I got out of jail after 2015, or it was 2016, my bad. When I got out of jail in 2016, I was playing poker at the casino in downtown St. Louis. And when I played poker a lot back in my early 20s, a lot of my friends, when it got banned online and moved to Mexico so they could keep playing online. Well, this dude named Casey Hirschman, he was back home in town for Christmas, and I happened to run into him at the casino, and we're just playing, vibing. And he's like, man, you hear about Bitcoin? And I was like, yeah, man, I heard it went to $100 or something like that, but it'll never go any higher. And he's like, dude, it went to $1,000. And I was like, oh shit. And then like there was another homeboy we had from poker that he was telling me that like this kid's parents had bought so much Bitcoin when it was cheap that when it got to like $100 and something bucks, they had a party, popping bottles. So like they probably had and made millions on top of millions at that point. But so I at that point in time, I was running a door-to-door team, still building up. And I just had guys that were riding my car and I drop them off every day. So what I would do is I'd drop everybody off at 10 a.m. And then from 10 to noon, I'd research Bitcoin, just those 2 hours before I went to actually start working and knocking doors. And I went through all the 2+2 forums and read every single post from the beginning. And then I'd have to cross-reference what I was learning because I was learning about the financial industries and this and that. And so like it took me until June 2016 to actually fire the trigger from actually kind of being like around Christmas or June 2017 to finally pull the trigger from all the way from around Christmas of 2016. So I researched every day for about 6 months before I actually really, dove in.
What'd you buy first and how much?
So I bought Bitcoin to start with. I think a lot of times, and I've told this story publicly and told exactly how much, but I don't want to get in the habit of speaking how much. I don't think anybody should do that now with the people being kidnapped in crypto and stuff like that. But like, man, my story's out there. I've definitely told it on spaces before. It is what it is. But I'm gonna get in the habit of doing the right thing and teaching others to do the right thing. But I fired in back then, and I bought some Bitcoin. That was my first purchase. I bought some more Bitcoin after that, and I felt like I was a genius because it went up, and so then I bought some Ethereum around $240. And then I bought some Litecoin around $240, and I bought some Potcoin, and that was those are my first early bags. And Potcoin was the only one that really went to zero. But then after that is when I started playing on Binance and stuff like that, and using it to accumulate more Bitcoin. But like I don't have like a ton of Bitcoin or anything like that. Like I don't want to put that out there or anything. But I was here in 2017, and I've been playing around ever since.
Wow, it sounds like you stayed in it pretty heavy. Yeah. So what are you thinking right now? Like I hear you're saying that it's pretty bullish. I mean, bearish from what the charts are saying. And I like that you looked at Solana. I like looking at the Solana chart too. I don't know why more people don't do it. They usually just TA Bitcoin, but Solana has been kind of a tell for Bitcoin and this season, this cycle. Like you can kind of look at what Solana's doing, and it's kind of showing what Bitcoin might do. It's interesting. Like Solana hasn't been moving the way that the other altcoins are moving. It kind of does. They all kind of show the same pattern, but I mean like the multiples that it's going up. It kind of like slowed down. Did you notice that? Like when everything kind of went up, Solana was going up, but it was more going like this when everything else was going more steep, and uh I don't know if like I'm making sense, but like I said, I'm newer to like TA and like just being able to read the charts and kind of see what's going on. But
So
what are
you,
you
you
thinking?
actually got the right idea, in my opinion. And like, dude, I'm not the best in the world. I'm trading crypto, yeah, right? If that was the best trade in the world, I'd be trading probably one of the biggest forex funds in the world. But um, what I noticed, when it's actually kind of changed as a recent, but for about a good year and a half or so, Solana was front running the market, or Bitcoin, because I think Bitcoin moves the market. Solana was front running Bitcoin and everything else in both directions, and really, when it stopped was when Solana lost its all time high, and so did Bitcoin. Bitcoin's made multiple all-time highs since then, and Solana hasn't. So like that
Right.
that correlation of Solana front running hasn't been quite the same anymore. Now, in some instances, you are seeing Sui, ironically enough, front run the market, and we haven't dug into a lot of Sui charts on here lately, but it's giving those indicators, and that's one reason I'm actually super bullish on Sui, because I think Sui is going to be the Solana the next bull run, and I think you're seeing a lot of major whales accumulate now and just kind of prepare for it, and they'll probably accumulate the whole way through. But
How do you buy Sui? What's the easiest way to buy Sui?
I'm pretty sure you can buy it on CoinCatch. I'll DM you my affiliate link for CoinCatch. We get a good deal on fees on there.
Is there a KYC and like can you
No,
buy it
no
in America?
KYC, no KYC, no VPN there. They get down how we like.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'll do that. And then what do you typically use for storage?
I recommend. Like, I know a lot of people don't like Ledger, but I recommend Ledger or just a Phantom wallet, whatever you're most comfortable with. I think either is good for your average person.
Phantom has Sui on it, doesn't it?
Yep.
Wow. All right. Let's go Phantom.
Yeah.
uh,
It's bullish.
what about DTN 1000X Timbo?
I think he said his girl was sleeping and in the same room, and he couldn't talk earlier. I don't know if he
What
can.
about the girl?
I'll show DTN. There's this weird coin that just showed up in my wallet, MKU3. It's a meme coin of a secret society. I bought 5 million of it, and it just nonstop going up. But that's DTN's community takeover. You know about Pump Fund? It's a Pump Fund token, but it's a cool. Definitely, Timbo is a cool guy, and he's out here pushing projects, and he makes alpha calls. And I believe in this project that he has, MKU3. So I'd check out that meme coin on Solana and buy a bag of it.
All right. Yeah, no, I'm pretty familiar with Solana meme coins, so like I'm really hip to that market. What I am getting kind of acquainted to though a little bit more um, are like the reason why I was asking about Recycle coin. That earlier I was like, "Are you guys talking about Recycle?" And you guys were like, "I don't know if we're talking about that coin." You guys were talking about like reward tokens and token this there was a coin that launched about a month ago that my friend launched and it went to 3 million, and you guys were kind of talking about like scam tokens or like things that looked like scams, and I thought you guys were talking you guys said cycle or something like that where you could stake, and then you said it sounded scammy, and I was wondering if you were talking about recycle, uh, not because I was taking offense to it or anything, but just because I was curious to see what were like the things that made it seem scammy and like, um, but do you remember what coin you were actually talking about then? Now that I'm bringing it up.
Oh yeah, it was DCA. She was here earlier, and she had to bounce out for a space. But there was a coin she was talking about that the dev had got them all to stake it for rewards or something like that, and then just rugged it to where like to me, that's just kind of scammy in the current market. If you're staking for rewards, I've just seen it go sideways so many times. Like, there's got to be a real reason for me to want to stake, you know. But I'm bullish on rewards tokens. Like, you know, the Alpha Index is a rewards token. DCA has a rewards token. We got a lot of rewards tokens that we play with in our circle.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Recycle was one of those, and they also like were the whole idea was they would get like there was somehow they were it was a reward token, and then with the rewards they would do buybacks and then burn the token, so it was like constantly was it deflationary, and it was like shrinking the supply. It was interesting. It lasted for a little bit, did pretty well. I just was curious if you guys were talking about that one. It wasn't that one. And you guys talked about staking coins. The first meme coin project that I got into when I first got into crypto in March, I met some people in a space, and I still talk to a couple of them. I mean, but they had nodes, which is basically staking, and you would buy the nodes, and I put like first project, I'm like building a relationship with these people. I'm trying to learn from them. I'm trying to get in with the in crowd, and there's like 5 of them, and I'm trying to help the project as much as possible. I brought an influencer into it. One of the biggest influencers in the world he was fighting in Aiden Ross's boxing match as the main event, and he had the logo of this crypto project on his shorts. I got that to happen, and then
Who was the influencer?
It was it's Scam Likely. I work on his marketing team. I do like some of the like I'm not his manager, but I'm like I can book him podcasts and book like sponsorships and stuff. But the guy is Scam Likely, the influencer.
Yeah. I know who that is. That's what's up, man.
Yeah, really cool with him. If you got he'll come into projects, you know, and I have other influencers too that I work with, but it's one way that I add value. I try to, you know, if I can. But yeah, they freaking rugged it within I put like 2 grand into it. And then I bought into the chart another probably $1,000, and the guy rugs it, and then they're all like, "Oh, well, I don't know. He just left. He just rugged it." And I just felt like, hold on, like I feel like something's not adding up. So I stuck around because they started a different project and they gave me supply. They gave me like $400 worth of supply in this next token. And that one did good, but I learned about farming, and they were like, I felt like I was getting farmed, you know, and I was buying into that, and I'm like trying to hold the floor and be, you know, respectful to the chart, you know, all these things that they were trying to teach me. But it just seemed like every time I did what was the right thing, they would just take advantage of it and then act like, oh, well, it's just crypto. But I mean, yes, it is crypto, and you got to learn. It's an expensive lesson to learn, and you do have to learn it at the same time. Like, I don't know. Like, I just felt, yeah, I don't know. If you guys dealt with anything like that?
No, I
I,
feel it.
I,
Oh, go ahead.
if I can say something, if you don't want to be farmed, if you want a stable project, I'm just gonna say you can check out Index on X, because I'm the type of coin that you would actually like, because you get rewards, you know, just by holding, and you just have to look at the chart. You'll see there's no farming whatsoever, and we're just going up every day. So they're like, I know there's some projects you look for to get into, and we're like the perfect project that actually would be on your level, let's say.
Yeah,
I would.
I mean, go ahead. Sorry about that.
Well, I just wanted to say, like, it's kind of the Wild West. It's crime season right now, but like, we don't really condone like bad behavior like that. I invest in projects that do like, the honorable things and aren't like farming people. But like, the whole pump fun is like every coin that launches on there is pretty much a PvP rug. Like, it's just a gambling game right now.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, I've learned a lot, and since then, uh I've learned how to sell in the chart without you got to take profits, but you also don't want to nuke the chart. I've learned a lot. I've learned how to uh launch. I've launched my own tokens privately and, kept a community. That was a whole experience. And I've just been in some CTOs. I really like CTOs with the right group. If you have a good community that's really down to grind, the CTOing game is great. But yeah, I'm looking for projects that are like getting ready to launch and NFT projects. I've never bought any real NFTs, so I'm interested in learning about those. It seems like that's really taken off. Um, yeah, it's it. I'm checking out Alpha. What's your? I looked at Index, but I'm just seeing. I don't know if I can find it by just typing Index. I see some stuff, but I don't know if it's your coin. Alpha Reward Index.
I'll copy the
Yeah.
CA into the chat
Yep,
for you.
that's
so
the
you
one
get
it
the
is.
right
Yep.
Yeah,
one.
I found you. I found you, Alpha. There we go. I've got the CA now, and you've got a Telegram too. Cool. I like
Oh yeah,
Telegram.
Telegram, X, I'm in here. We're everywhere. We're just hanging out and chilling. We're supposed to be working, but we're over here. That's the cool part. Well, I think
Working.
ECA is working. He's trying to making some shirts or something. I don't know what you're designing.
Well,
Who?
hey guys, I gotta
EAC.
reel in the conversation. I gotta wrap up in a few. My kids got open house tonight at school, so I gotta make sure we're ready for all that. But let me throw it around to everybody and let's get some final thoughts for the show on how we're feeling about everything or anything you want to tell the listeners. Let's start with EAC. What's good, bro? What are your final thoughts for listeners into this episode?
Like shout out Alpha Index for sure. Like I got given, I won it for $20. It's sitting at $54 right now, and it's nonstop going up. So appreciate holding that. And thank you, Andrew, for holding these spaces. And look forward to it tomorrow. Look forward to, pulling up to Clutch Space 2 tomorrow. And right now, I'm just learning about the markets. I'm just holding bags and looking for plays to get in on early projects. So when people pull up to Clutch's space and I like what they're kind of saying and I feel like they're going to be around and they're real builders, I'll invest into those. And yeah, I'm a bag holder and I just look forward to more conversation with you guys. But thanks for hosting this. I really appreciate it because it's like content that I can put out and share. And yeah.
Hey, you're welcome, bro. I appreciate you showing up and all that important and streaming at multiple platforms for us. So that really helps us all grow. And hey, everybody, do your part. Just repost if you're listening and absorbing some free content if you learn anything. But no, I appreciate you, AC, and I definitely love having you around to be able to pitch the Polygon chain. For those that want to come in and learn, it's always good to have that here and have you be that beacon for those that want it.
Cool, man. Yeah, I'll be here pushing P. Not gonna stop. Gonna get you to buy a bag soon enough.
Pushing P and. Dude, like I've held Polygon. I'm not anti-holding Polygon. I've traded on the chain. I'm not holding any right now. I can say I'm just saying that. But let's say what's up or peace out to Index, man. Any words you want to leave with the listeners? And I wanted to get your chart pulled up today. I apologize, man. We'll check it out here tomorrow. But congratulations.
That's all right. Listen, the most important thing is we're here, we're talking, and Actually, I didn't know this about you. So, like, what you did and turn your life around is phenomenal. You're a great speaker. You're level-headed. Looks like. So yeah, and I would say, what you did, not a lot of people are able to do. Yeah, and I think for people that don't know your story, like I didn't, it's phenomenal. So congrats to you and keep it up. And yeah, we don't have to shill every day. We can just be here talking, right? I don't need to shill. If somebody wants to check me out, they'll check me out, and they're gonna buy if they like the chart or like what we're doing, and look into it. But it's just talking communities, friendships, and that's more important sometimes than shilling, I would say.
No, for sure, man. And thank you so much, man. It feels good to hear that. And that's honestly why I like sharing the story, just because I've met so many other sales guys who are like, man, I heard that. And I was like, I knew I could do it too, And like, I feel like sales is that one spot where, like, in some capacity, we all got the level playing field. Like, I know a deaf dude and I can't say I know him as a friend of a friend, but like, there was a deaf dude that crushed it selling everything through Facebook Messenger and text messages. And so, like, if you got the drive, you got the hustle, you can do it. And it's all transferable to Web3. But no, always great to have you around, Alpha Index. I know you're a hustler. You're always around. You got a great project. The proof is in the pudding. You don't get to a 500K market cap in these, and you might be higher now, but I saw it around the 500K. But you don't get there in these conditions by accident with an organic pump. It's hard. It's not like a year ago where everything ran easily. You got to get out and grind and fight for your share of liquidity. So definitely check out Alpha Index, guys, and much love to you, Alpha Index, and I appreciate you showing up and showing support. And hey, I'll share my story more, man. I'll try to get it out there for the homies. I'm usually focused on making money in these spaces, but that's kind of why I like the live stream too, because it's more like, all right, we had the super focused money space earlier in the day. Now we can vibe and chill and do whatever and just hang out with friends.
Do we know if you can post this on TikTok? Make it live as well through there, this platform, because I know on X, because obviously that's actually very popular. People like to watch on I don't know if you can or not, but you should look into it.
Yeah, I'll look into it. That'd be a good one. I will. I'll definitely do it because I know DCA is grinded on TikTok too. Good idea. Good idea.
Sorry, my bad.
I don't think Timbo's around or his girl's sleeping, so he probably can't chime in right now. But Panda, man, it was great to meet you today, bro. And any final thoughts you want to leave the listeners with?
Yeah, I was thinking about it the whole time, and then I forgot. Other than that, though, I was going to say something, but I forgot. But I do know that I want to come back. What's the next show? You said tomorrow. What time?
Sorry, I got stuck on mute for a second. So tomorrow we have a space on X at 12 p.m. Eastern, and then at 4 p.m. Eastern we'll be back on the stream. And you're welcome to come to both. We get a lot of speakers on the spaces, so you have to be patient for us to get you up on the panel in the space. But you're welcome to both anytime, homie.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. I know you got places to go. I want to stay in touch with everybody. I look forward to, growing and getting a part of projects that you guys have, and just, building a relationship, like Alpha was saying.
For sure. Well, we'll see you soon. Have a good one, guys. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Oh, go ahead, bro. What's up?
One last thing, if you guys could please, I don't have a bunch of followers, and if you guys could follow me, please. I'd appreciate it.
And bro, just keep showing up, hanging out. Like everybody that hangs out with us, I'm like, because we show up daily, so you don't have to. But if you show up every day with us, you will pick up followers, you'll pick up knowledge, you'll pick up profits. And there's so many people that they didn't have any of those things before they started hanging out. But you show up daily. We get a good group of people that show up daily. So show up daily, that'll happen. But guys, follow Panda, follow Alpha, follow DTN, follow ECA, follow all these guys on all the platforms. We'll be back tomorrow, and like I just told Panda, we'll be on the space tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern. Follow me, Dope Sales. The handle is in my name, and we'll be back here on the stream tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern. But thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for everybody that reposted. Thank you for everybody engaged. Thank you for all the panelists for coming and drop massive value. I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace out, everybody.